Go racing. Go online. GoRacing.ie. Horse Racing Ireland's official website.
Hello and welcome to this weekend's Horse Racing Ireland racing preview with me, Sarah Barton, and my colleague Martin Murphy. Today we're looking at racing at the Curragh on Sunday the 12th of August, which is a 7-race card, and it's a fantastic day's racing with a Group 1, two Group 2s and also the Group 3 Phoenix Sprint. But we're going to go first to the big one on the day, and that's off at 3:50, and it's the Keeneland Phoenix Stakes Group 1 for 2-year-olds run over 6 furlongs. Now, my selection in this would be for Probably, who won the Group 2 Railway Stakes earlier in the year at the Curragh. But again, he faces Cristoforo Colombo, who would probably give him... Could he reverse the placings?
Well, I have to say, Sarah, on the likely better ground on Sunday, I would fancy Cristoforo Colombo to actually reverse those placings. However, it is interesting that the Watchman stable has supplemented Probably into this race, so they obviously feel they can confirm Railway Stakes placings earlier on the year. On that occasion, on Derby Day, the ground definitely was very, very testing. And I think Probably by Danehill Dancer was more suited to it than the likes of Cristoforo Colombo. Now, before that, Cristoforo Colombo had finished a good third to down approach in the Coventry Stakes at Royal Ascot, and that's top class form. Yeah. I'd expect him to win again on Sunday. He's a decent draw there in stall 6, and I think Aidan O'Brien has a tremendous record in this race. Although he was beaten last year, Power was beaten by La Canina. It was a bit of a surprise result last year. He's won this race something like 10 times in the last 12 years. So I think, Cristoforo Colombo would be one that will reverse those places, but Probably. It's interesting to see an English rider here, Mick Shannon's Bungle in the Jungle, a good winner of the Mollacombe Stakes at Goodwood there just last week. Now this one has ran 5 times, but each occasion has ran over 5 furlongs. So whether it gets the stiff 6 at the Curragh remains open to be seen. But Martin Hardy, of course, won the 1,000 guineas here earlier on the year in Samatar, so he's back for more Group 1 glory. Another interesting runner, I think, is Wexford Opera from the Jim Bulger yard. Unfortunately, Down Approach doesn't run, and this Wexford Opera is also by New Approach, which was well fancied on his debut at Leopardstown, but the ground was probably too soft when he was only second on that occasion. It's interesting that he's been pitched into Group 1 level, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him running a good race at around 20 to 1 or 16 to 1. But for me, Cristoforo Colombo to
reverse placings would probably.
So. Yeah,
and he's also running Parliament Square, who has improved recently to win a listed race, and he's another Pedro the Great, so it's going to definitely be a competitive race, but Probably and Cristoforo Colombo probably stand out.
I think so.
So we'll move on then to the second race on the day, which is off at 2:50, and that's the Keeneland Royal Whip Stakes Group 1. This is run over a mile 2. One of my favourite horses of all time, Famous Name, is running in this, and he has already won 3 Group 3s this year and was placed in a Group 1 and the Bet365 mile as well. So I think he will push it up to Born to See, who finished second to Camelot in the Irish Derby.
Well, yeah, fascinating race, Sarah, even though it's only 4 runners. I mean, it's going to be a tremendous clash here between Famous Name and Born to See. The Famous Name has won 18 times in a wonderful career, 12 of those at Leopardstown, but people seem to think that obviously that's his best track. But he has won 5 times at the Curragh, so he's equally effective at this course. Now, he's to give £9 to Born to See because of the weight for age scale, and I suppose that'll be a tough enough task. Born to See did run well against Camelot in the Irish Derby. The ground was very, very testing at that occasion, and it's possible that the mile and a half kind of stretched his stamina there in the last furlong when he was challenging. Before that, he finished 4th in the St James Palace Stakes over a mile at Royal Ascot, and he finished a reasonable 5th in the Irish 2000 Guineas as well. I think he's getting better with age, he's getting better with racing. I think a mile and a quarter will suit him, and I think the better ground on Sunday will suit him as well. So I'm hoping he can beat Famous Name, although it could be very, very tight between the two. It should be very tight betting wise, and it could even be very, very tight finish as well. But for me, slightly, I would favour Born to See on Sunday, although I wouldn't be certain about it.
And it might be a certainty for the Tote Exacta, but it might not pay the biggest dividend.
No,
but
it'll be interesting to see Born to See. Hopefully he'll run a good race, and he might be able to go on for the Irish Champion Stakes at Leopardstown in early September, and what's building up to be a fantastic race at the moment.
Okay, so we'll move on then to the third race on the card, and that's another Group 2, and it's off at 3:20. It's the Keeneland Debutante Stakes, and this is again for 2-year-olds run over 7 furlongs. My selection in this, and probably Martin's as well, is for the John Ox filly Harasia, who won her maiden and then went on to win the Group 3 Silver Flash Stakes. She's beaten 3 in this race in My Special J's, Reglis and Rosari. So I don't know, is there anything else in the lineup that could kind of challenge her?
Well, I think, Sarah, she's definitely the best filly 2-year-old I've seen this year. Best juvenile filly by far. She looks a real superstar. I mean, maybe won this race last year on her way to winning 5 races, and of course she won the Migler after that. I think Harasia could go along those lines as well. This is a good trial for the Migler Stakes in a couple of weeks' time. And I think Heresy, and what she's shown so far, is a very, very good filly and will take all the beating. She should be probably a sharp price. As you say, she's beaten a couple of these already. Magical Dream did win well at Galway there last week, but would have to step up further than that. Regulise is a decent filly as well from Edward Lynham, but the one to take the chaser home is actually Rosa Ray from the Kevin Pendergast yard. Won well at Fairyhouse and finished third behind her last time, running on for quite well at the finish. But I'd be very surprised to see Heresy get beaten. I really would.
And elsewhere on the card, of course, we have the Phoenix Sprint Stakes, which I always enjoy, Group 3, run over the 6 furlongs. And it's interesting to see Star Spangled Banner returning to racing after a stint at stud.
Yeah, unfortunately he had fertility problems and things didn't work out there. But it's actually 2 years since he raced, and while you have to be worried about his fitness, his obvious class could probably see him through. He's a dual Group 1 winner. He won a Royal Ascot there in 2010. He hasn't actually raced since September 2010. So while you'd expect him to probably get through on Sunday, it could be interesting from a betting point of view, because it's likely he's going to be aimed at the Nunthorpe Stakes and Group 1 races later on in the season. So he may not be fully wound up, and if he is to get beaten on Sunday, it'll obviously be through lack of fitness. It is an interesting race. Definitely has won here before, obviously won here on Derby Day, and should go well under Johnny Murtagh. I actually like the Reaper here for Gerard Lyons, especially if the ground continues to dry out. He was a good third to Tiddlywinks in the Greenland Stakes on his last run at the Curragh in May. I think he's been waiting for a good ground, and he's in my selection each way. I also like to give a mention to Gordon or Byron. I think he's a horse that could run very well as well. So while Star Spangled Banner is obviously the class act, and if he's 100% fit, he would beat these. But I think the Reaper each way is the way to go on Sunday.
Okay, so we'll sum up our selections then for the Curragh on Sunday, which of course is a fantastic card. And on the in the second race, it's really a throw up between Famous Name and Born to See, with Martin probably favouring Born to See, but obviously Famous Name, the obvious danger. In the third race, the Keeneland Debutante Stakes, we both can't see the filly Heresy had been beaten, but Martin thinks Rosario might give her a good run. In the fourth race, the Keeneland Phoenix Stakes, I have opted for probably from the David Watchman yard, with Martin sticking with Aidan O'Brien and Cristoforo Colombo, which will be a fantastic race to watch. In the fifth race, off at 4:20, Martin has given a mention to the Reaper. So definitely, if it's good weather on Sunday, go out and go racing. And next week we'll be previewing Tramore on Saturday and Tramore on Sunday, and Dundalk is also on Sunday. So enjoy, and thanks for watching.
Go racing. Go online. GoRacing.ie. Horse Racing Ireland's official website.